Hey guys, welcome back to the channel here at Undique on the little homestead here in New Jersey. And as you can see, I have a mess. That's okay. Now I'm doing some prep work for the water system of the new Quail setup, and when I'm not busy of operating the network, right? Right now, 10 states, 13 locations. I work on my own Quail setup because, yeah, I need to know everything about Quail. Since we sell it on different platforms online, and that's why I have my own Quail too. That's how it all started. Now, I try to break something without breaking it too much. That's gonna be fun. Already managed to break a hatching quail cage. I decided yet not to show it, but maybe when I reach certain amount of followers, might show how stupid I was to break something. But now I'm actually breaking on purpose the covers which come with the hatching time layer cage and grow-out cage for the water container there, because I have right now it's a 4-tier grow-out and 5-tier layer. Over here I have a 5-tier layer and another brooder, and I pump up the water. So these covers are great. Interesting enough, there's already a little plastic kind of, I don't know, maybe did that on purpose, but I like it. So I'm trying to drill down here now, make a hole. I measured that. That's about the size of the hose which should go in there. 2 new cages in the setup, 2 things to drill down. I'm gonna be next week with hatching time to pick up an incubator. So in case I break something now, I can get a spare part when I'm there, so that's why I'm doing it now. Wish me luck. Let's see. That wasn't too bad. Of course I'm stuck now. Yeah. Okay. It needs a little bit more love afterwards, but in all this chaos I'm organized, don't you worry. That's what I wanted. That's where the hose goes in. Do that with the second one real quick. What you telling me, Quail? Yeah, I know, I watch it. Ha! Even I can do that. I'm good in breaking stuff. Okay. How do I get that out? You know, it's always more than one way to do things, right? Okay. Not sure if I'm gonna eat that, so let's leave that there. Okay, this part is done, and we move over to the better side, to the other side, and get that all in place. Follow me along. Anyway, here we are. Okay, those guys are cut. I did cut the right side, I hope. So let's find out. Park this one up there. Well, this is the short one already. I like the length, so I have to just modify this here. Get it in there. I use that in the Avery setup, which I'm currently not using. It's the cord anyway. In there. So it's gonna get this off. There's a metal part with it, and metal gets rusty. Whatever they tell you, right? It does rust. Even if they tell you it's this and whatever, it starts rusting. And so I take this metal part off. And that's why I decided also for the hatching time cages, by the way. Show me that they rust. Anyway, there's whatever thing stuck in there. I don't really care about that now. This I might use back in the garden again. Okay. Did I do a good job? Let's see. Not yet. Do I have to get that out? I don't want to get that out. There's a little plastic part in this hose. Don't know if you can see that here. And either I need just patience to get it in. It seems to be like a millimeter, not even, how do you even say a millimeter in inches? A 16th of an inch? Let me get a tool to work that. Now, didn't find a tool, but I found sanding paper. That should do the trick. While I'm sanding away here, just a few thoughts on life. In Austria, we have an old saying there. That's where I was born. Say, if it doesn't fit, we're gonna make it fit. And yeah, that's what I do. And in life, you know, coming from a IT background, actually, when I was young, my first job was selling vegetables in the supermarket. It was cool, but I wanted to do something else. So eventually I ended up having a degree in photography. We had some computer stuff back then. But, you know, I'm talking here on a time when a young kid now is watching. I mean, we had no smartphones. I had internet in 1991. I was one of the first ones, I think, in my hometown, definitely amongst my friends. Anyway, so I studied photography, and it was cool. Did that for a while. But when I was 19, actually, I made my hobby, the computer, to a job. I had a company in Austria. It worked okay, but I was lazy. I was young. Didn't have much experience. And eventually, I wanted to see the whole wide world. And it was always my dream to come to the United States. And yeah, that was not so easy because I wanted to do it the legal way. You know, so that means you need either a company to sponsor you a green card or a visa, right? So you need to do all the paperwork to legally come here. And so it took me a while to figure that out. My plan was, hey, why don't I go to Ireland? You know that republic there? Which shares an island which is called Great Britain. So there's Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. And so I figured I'd go to Ireland because there's a lot of American companies there, which have their European headquarters there, because it kind of makes sense. The Irish speak proper English. That's where I learned really to understand English. That was in Ireland. I mean, I had it in school, but try to understand the Irish with their accent. I was in Cork, in the south. Anyway, oh wow, that fits like as if I would have planned it. Don't want to break it. It doesn't fit. I keep on filing. Sometimes in life things take a while. Like the story I'm telling you, how I came to the US. So anyway, I went to Ireland and I figured I'd work a year or two for an American company. They hopefully see my potential then and bring me over to the other side of the Atlantic. And well, that didn't really go as planned. I met my ex-wife in Ireland, and my daughters were born in Ireland. So they have an Irish passport, a French passport, and an Austrian passport. The Irish at the time actually changed the birthright there as well, which was interesting, because they had a huge problem in regards to people coming from other parts of Europe, for example, coming to Ireland and get their babies in Ireland and then they would have a work permit for the European Union. So it's kind of similar with what's going on here in the US. And I don't really want to talk about politics. Well, I'll just tell you my life story, right? And so they changed it back then. The Irish, they said, well, at least one parent needs to have lived for 5 years in the country, in Ireland, in order for the child to get Irish citizenship. So I was just a little over 5 years there, and I had pay slips from my work there in IT to prove that I was there for 5 years. And it was just easier to get the passport at the post office in Ireland rather than driving 4 hours one way to Dublin to go to the Austrian embassy, to apply for a passport, to drive back there after a few weeks to pick it up. So it was a lot of hassle. We did that later on. But so, and I figured, an extra nationality never hurts, mate. You never know what happens, right? So that's what we did. So my daughter got the Irish passport, and then the youngest as well, because I lived in Ireland for 5 years. Anyway, I think that concept makes sense, right? Yeah, so the plan didn't work out. I was still not in the United States, right? And there was, with 2 kids in Ireland, and a Canadian company bought the American company. And after the second round of layoffs, it hit me. That was actually right 3 days after my youngest daughter was born. I got laid off because I was the newest member of that team. Anyway, long story short, at that time I thought, okay, it would be maybe cool to live closer again to family on the mainland in Europe. So we moved to Munich, Germany, which is about 2 hours from the town where I'm from in Austria. And that worked well. And whoops, that didn't work well. Anyway, I might just change that over, how I do that. Yeah. No, it has to be on this side. It has to go up. Well, anyway, we make it fit, right? So, here I was in Munich. That was great. There was a company barbecue. The owner is a businessman from Munich. And funny enough, the Austrian accent I have is very close to the Bavarian accent. So there's different versions of German. I always like to say, the Germans want to understand the Austrians and can't, and the Austrians can understand the Germans but don't want to. If any of my German friends are watching this, sorry, but that's the truth, isn't it? Anyway, so yeah, I told at the company barbecue to my German boss at the time, listen, my dream was always to go to the US because I've seen Knight Rider and Alf and a little bit Baywatch, and now I'm on the Jersey Shore, right? Anyway, so long story short, he remembered that, and a year later he came to me and said, Christian, we need a sales engineer, a technical consultant over in our New Jersey office, because the guy there, he doesn't want to commute anymore, he found another job, so we need a replacement as soon as possible. And you told me once your dream is to go to the US, so do you want to go? And so that was on a Wednesday, and I was on the plane on the Monday after. And I guess the rest is history. First traveled here on a business visa, then we had to apply for a specialized visa. We had to prove that I have the merit, the skills, what this country or this company needed in this country, and they couldn't find anybody locally. And that was quite some paperwork, I would say that much. Thousands of dollars in expense for the lawyers, but eventually I got the specialized visa, so I could stay permanently in the US. And after a while, things didn't work out with my first marriage. That happens, I guess. And then I met a very lovely lady born in New York, but she lived most of her life in New Jersey. And getting sentimental when I talk about it, but she's the greatest woman I have ever met in my life. She's the best stepmother for my kids, and together with her we have created this company, Undique, and 4 years ago. We're married now since 6 years, and yeah, I love her a lot. And I had the option through my day job, my old job, to get the green card through the job. I've been here already a couple of years, and one of my friends did that actually. And it would have been actually a quicker process to get the green card through work than what we did through marriage. So through marriage though, it was possible too, and I wanted to save the company expenses for the lawyer. And my wife is really good with paperwork. I'm not the best on paperwork sometimes. So since we got married either way, because we love each other, we went through the process and did that for the green card as well. And that was quite an effort. I think that folder is that sick. They have seen pictures of us on vacation in different countries. We love to go on vacation. So then during that times I have somebody else here, a good friend or a neighbor taking care of the birds. But anyway, so we had to prove for the green card interview, we had to drive down there about an hour or two from here to the immigration office to prove them that we are married and that we love each other. It's funny that you have to do that, but I get it because people might abuse that system, right? Or the system. Anyway, so that's what we did. It was funny in the interview, my wife forgot the names of my daughters for a second. I forgot, I think the color of her toothbrush, or they asked me something, her birthday. I mixed up her birthday with the birthday of my daughter because I was so nervous about it. Anyway, we had an affidavit from a work colleague of mine, Ellen, thanks again, and a cousin of Gabi. They had both attended the wedding. We had a lot of people at our wedding. Anyway, so we had to prove everything, that we are married for love, not just for the green card. So we did that, and then a few weeks later, and a few $1,000s later, I got my little green card where it says I'm a permanent resident of the United States. With the citizenship, it's a bit of an issue. The Austrian government does not allow necessarily dual citizenship unless it's by birth. Or if your name is Arnold Schwarzenegger, then it's possible. So if you're a public figure or for some other reasons they allow it, but in my case they don't. And at this stage in life, I'm 45. Do I want to give up my Austrian passport? I don't know. I mean, I was born there, I lived there for 24 years. That's where I came from. And I guess if, you know, depending where you're from now watching this, I think that's not something you're willing to give up. But I don't have to give it up, and I still can live here in the US legally on a green card. Just have to renew it every 10 years or so. I contribute to the society, the community, pay my taxes, right? With the network, what I do here at Undique, I help a lot of people who get into quail to turn it into a business if they want to, or make some extra money with it. So I think I do my share as a citizen, as a good guest in this country, right? Do I gonna stay forever in the US? Forever is such a long term, right? Probably I will, until I'm probably gonna die here. I mean, not right here in the quail pen, but if I do, then I probably die happy or with a cage falling on me, or attacked by 100 quail. But hey, there's worse ways to die. Anyway, didn't want to go there. So I shall see. I'm happy overall how life is. In regards what's happening in the world, not too happy always, but you know, I can't change everything. I can just do my little part to make the world a better place, one quail egg at a time, right? So thanks for watching. I just wanted to show the water setup, but I don't know, for some reason this stuff popped into my head and I wanted to share it with you guys. Yeah, have a good day, enjoy your life, and if you're a husband, love your wife.